What's up, everybody? We back. It's your boy Cogee. Hey, we ready to put it down today. We ain't gonna wait no longer. We got my man in here right now, Mr. Datari Turner. What's up with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, Cogee, man? I appreciate you having me. How's everything?
Oh, man, everything's blessed, man. I'm glad to have you on here, man. Hey, it's been a long time coming.
Good stuff, good stuff. No, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, man, you've been doing your thing. I'm very proud of you and your whole crew. Meagan Good, Mr. Ty, Hodges, y'all putting it down, but we're going to get all into that in time. But I just want to say I'm proud of you, man, to see you come, from the runway, and then you was doing your music videos, then you switched over into the acting. But, we're going to let people know, man, all this didn't happen overnight for you, right or wrong?
No, it definitely didn't. I remember... It's funny, I remember reading an interview where Sam Jackson said, an overnight career is 10 years, and so, definitely, I mean, if you want to have longevity in this business, you got to, it takes a while to lay that foundation down.
Oh, yeah, you definitely right, and you've been doing that. But, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back a little bit, and we're going to let people see how deep you are and what all, hey, you've been progressing your whole life with what you've been doing. But we want to talk about when you was in high school, and you was a high school All-American football, and you was going to Oklahoma. What happened to that situation?
It's funny because, I think about it sometimes about that phase of my life, and just how, from 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, all I really wanted to do was play football.
Right.
My favorite team was the Dallas Cowboys growing up, even though I'm from the Bay Area, and I always, thought that I would play in the NFL, and that's really all I wanted to do.
Okay.
But, sometimes God, has a different plan for you, and when things don't quite go the way they should go, especially, for somebody who was recruited as heavily as I was. I mean, I was a blue chip student sports, USA Today All-American in football, and I got recruited by every school in the country. But, for whatever reason, it just wasn't meant to be. And, it's funny because during that time, when I got hurt, when I tore my ACL, I just kept thinking, like, why me? Like, I've been doing this for so many years and putting in so much work, and it was a reason for it. But a lot of times, like I said, when certain things happen to you, sometimes you gotta God does have a plan. You just gotta let it play out, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give him time to let it play out.
Right.
And I'm really grateful that looking back on it, that it did happen to me, because it made me, become a more well-rounded person, just in terms, I mean, I took a lot of stuff for granted. I mean, I got a lot of athlete friends now.
Right.
And, I can see, why, how they even get in the position they get, just in terms of, the way they see. I mean, because when if you a really good athlete, man, from the time you 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, people know that.
Right.
And so a lot of things, you don't have to be accountable for a lot of stuff.
Right.
It's a lot of people that do things for you. And, when I got to high school, I had people, not that I wasn't intelligent, but, I had people willing to do my work. I mean, I had girls working in the office, changing my absences and stuff when I would show up to school. I mean, it was just out of control. But,
right.
It's like when somebody, I guess what I'm trying to say is when you look at somebody like an athlete and you be like, man, this guy is out of control. It's a lot of people that play a part in creating that monster, though. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
a lot of people that play a role in that.
Right. But with that whole situation of being blessed like that, but once the injury happened with your knee, take me back to this. Right when it happened and the doctors told you probably wasn't going to play no more, your chances wasn't as great as they were before the accident, what did your mind go to? Did you go in panic mode, or did you have a plan B?
Well, I didn't. I'm a true believer in this. I think that, when I really do believe this. I mean, you know, we live on a planet. There's millions and millions of people here, and I almost feel like if you want to be successful at something, and maybe a lot of people might not agree with this, but I really agree with. I really believe in this. You gotta almost not have a plan B. You gotta want something so bad.
Yeah.
You got that you don't think that you're gonna fail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to want it. So I really, at that time, I did not have a plan B. and the doctors, you know, they weren't telling me that I wouldn't play anymore.
Right.
You know, I was going to have to do, you know, a lot of rehab and you know, I was going to have to work really, really hard to come back, but I wasn't going to be able to play. You know, I was going to have to sit out at least a year or so to rehab it. And it was just, you know, I kind of fell into a little bit of a depression, and you know, I wasn't really going to class, and I was kind of you know, I was just like, you know, I was kind of a little bit all over the place. And, you know, it's funny when I ended up going back to the Bay Area, and, you know, true story, I was walking through the mall. I had, you know, some of my friends with me, and this lady who ran like this Face Finders model search,
mm-hmm.
she asked me to sign up for this model search competition. I had all my boys with me, and you know, I told her, I said, listen, you know, I'll sign up, but you got to let all of my boys sign up as well. And so she agreed to, but she called me that night and was like, listen, I think you got a really good look. I knew you wasn't going to sign up unless, you know, I let all your friends sign up, but can you come back next week by yourself? So I did, and you know, basically, to make a long story longer, I ended up winning like the best face, you know, in Northern California.
Okay.
Went to Southern California, ended up winning like the best face in California. Went to New York for the finals, and I ended up winning like the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
So